All right, here we are at 7320 County Road 520, and this is the entrance of the home. And I'm going to do a little backwards tour showing the flagstone walkway to the front door. There's a gravel drive, and it's quite long, and it is going to be something requiring some winter maintenance for sure. It was in very good shape. Plenty of room here to park and turn around. And here's this end of the home with the garage entrance. It is possible to enter from this side. They actually had set up a dog kennel and using this back door as mainly the way to get to the dog kennel, but you can also get through that way if you want. Architecturally, it's interesting. So it's almost like this portion here has a separate unit above the garage because there's a breezeway connecting it and stairs to go up to that next to the garage. Here's taking a look from this side. Trying not to trip while I'm videoing. But want to give the full view of the exterior of this home since it's quite different. Not your typical box. Okay, I'll turn around. I'm standing in a low area and it doesn't get all the views, but you get an idea of the landscape here. There's a post and rail fence over there. It might be on the property line. I'll double check the aerial of it to determine that. So there it is, full circle around the house. Let's go take a look inside. All right, walked into the entry and it has a clay tile look on the floor, corrugated metal for the wall finish. And these windows are set to be removable with little dowels, so this can be an open breezeway during the warmer months. There's a little bit of condensation moisture damage. I think just a paint touch-up would help fix that. So anyway, this is the door that can go out to that backside of the driveway I mentioned. And the door here is to the garage and to the loft, and we'll get to that after a bit. By the way, this door locks as well, like an entry door, so when the breezeway is open, there's a oak hardwood pre-finished floor, and it is showing where in this area where the finish is gone. So there's that. We have probably a coat closet immediately on the right, and the laundry is right here as I venture straight into the kitchen. I could have gone the other way, but I ended up going this way. So here's the dining area where it has these pendants hanging down, and this curved wall separates it from the entry area. We have a step down into the living area, and the shades are drawn. I probably should have opened them. But from here, and I'll do the views when I go back outside. But to give you an idea of the space, and when I look up, there's like a loft area above, so we have like lots of glazing on this corner to take in the views. Going back up, kitchen. Have a stainless counter here, unique. Looks like a type of cultured marble top. Needs a little caulking. Glass block that is semi-private, but you can also kind of see through a little too. And like an informal dining area, this could be where you can have a small table, breakfast table. You can sit and take in the views of the peaks around here. All right, having left the kitchen area, coming back around, there's a powder room right here and another little nook closet for cleaning supplies. We have an arcing stairway, and as you can see, there is some wear on the finish on the treads here. And this would be a master area. So they have like a little sitting room here. And I didn't open the shades. Took me a few minutes to figure out the lower ones. I should have opened them. I apologize. And there's great views of the peaks. You can almost see it through the shades. So this home does have baseboard hot water heat. And that's what these little radiators are. Being fed by a boiler that's on the main level. One really nice thing, this bedroom does offer great views when the shades are up. And it has a cafe style door for going into the closet, which is interesting. So walk-in closet, lots of storage, some built-in drawers. Carpet has got some wrinkles at the entry. A little dirty, but I think it's salvageable. And for the master bath, it's a tile floor. 2 sinks set up, that are ceramic sinks. And here we have a platformed jetted tub. And a mint-like color, but lots of light coming in and very private. Also, we've got the private reading room here. The drywall finish is what we call a skip trail texture. I do see some touch-up painting needed to be done. There's been some painting where they didn't get the finish the same, where it's flat and it's got a sheen to it, like an eggshell. So I do see some painting needing to be done here, and floor finishing, and so on. So anyway, let's go take a look. There's an outside deck area here off the master. And there's a tile space here for the transition, which also is outside as well. So they have a little sitting here area here. The railing is iron and rust is starting to show through. It's due for a paint here. But this is a protected little area if you just want to take in the green scenery to view. And while I'm here, I'm seeing some stucco failure at the top of that wall. The reinforcing in the corner is rusted through, which tells me that would have to be completely redone. And the roofing, they didn't cap the hip, which they should have. So there's going to be some touch up on this roofing as well. So anyway, let's head back inside. So there's a doorway that's off the living room, and it shows the underside of the stairs, as well as this is the boiler, and also all the heat zones that go along with that. There's access to a crawl space here. Looks like could be storage underneath the home, and also there's looks like a side arm for the boiler for the hot water is down there. So this thing is a little dirty. Looks like it needs service. We have an air vent that's leaking. So yeah, this would need to be taken a look at and serviced. All right. One thing I did not point out when I was in the main living area before is it does have a wood burning fireplace. And it's just a standard one, not a high efficiency one, but it is set up for burning wood. Okay, I'm exiting through the door off the kitchen, even though there are other accesses to this deck area, like from the main living area with the sliding glass doors. And I zoomed in a little, but this is still wide angle, and we do have a nice view of several of the snow-capped peaks, and they'll be snowier as each week goes by. Okay, I've entered the garage space. They do have a vehicle in here, and this is a standard sized 2-car garage. And I'm trying to get a look at this side of it. So it's not extra size, but it's big enough for 2 normal cars. And this space better be insulated. I think it is. The door's insulated, but the walls are. The furnace is right here, and the water heater is right here for this part. So this is a gas forced air furnace on this side. And so it should be well protected from the cold. And going upstairs to this area, painted, otherwise unfinished wood stairs. And we got a return air for the furnace here. And here we have, it's like almost like a mother-in-law type of unit, but so it's got it looks like a wood stove, but that's a gas burner. Yes, gas burner. No kitchen here. Well, here's their internet. Found it. I don't have the Wi-Fi password, unfortunately. So anyway, this is a nice little space, and it has a 3/4 bath with a tile floor. Seeing some minor cracks in the drywall in the corners and whatnot from minor movement. Now we begin with the survey of the stucco damage. This is off that rear deck off the living room, and this is significant failure on this wall around these doors. I'm not going to achieve that to having been done when it was cold. I think it's a maintenance issue. I think the joints around the windows were never sealed properly, and water was able to migrate behind the stucco. And so it's completely delaminated. The sub reinforcement is rusted. And so the agent led me to believe, well, it's just one wall, you can go corner to corner. Well, I just turned a corner, and I'm seeing the same problem on this wall. Really bad there by the door. And then going up the wall, it's there between the windows, and going clear up that corner, there's some failure under the soffit, and also where it meets the roof. And I think that's a common problem area because they should have done a different termination up against the roof because there's a step flashing with that, and so water is just being driven right up against the stucco. So that's a design failure as well as just implementing failure. Continuing on the stucco survey, seeing minor little pockmark issues, some failure around this window. You know, it's able to get in, and it's basically causing a failure in the stucco. This joint is failing all the way up. Some paint needed on the trim above the stucco there, and we are starting to see some failures at the window corners and the other corners. This is that wall where it looks like it's been painted recently, but the top of it has completely failed. We have some more issues here. There's some surface showing that it's failing. Again, it's around the windows. This joint is opening up, and we're getting some failure where the deck interfaces the wall. They've got this stucco running into the ground, which is wrong. It should stop above the ground because moisture can wick up through it, and so we're seeing some failure in that joint. Some of the bottom edge was not completely finished. They should have done a clean edge bottom with a stop. This joint is starting to fail, and also there's signs of I don't know if you can make that out. There's like a wind chime there. It looks like part of it broke off, but it had been rubbing on the wall, and there's holes up there. Could be from a bird poking through and nesting. More failure at the bottom. You can see some reinforcing fabric that could have been part of the initial work, also part of a repair. This face so far is not too bad. The garage door trim is in need of painting. And they've got a mouse rat trap here. Wonder if they've had problems with that. There's some failures of the stucco at the bottom here. Again, these joints are common when you have a long wall, and this one's starting to open up, and there's some failure at the base of the wall here. One of the areas that looks really bad is right here, and it doesn't surprise me where it's located. Boy, they're trying to tell me this is due to it being done when the work was when it was cold. No, this is a lack of maintenance, and it could have been initial workmanship too. So moisture has been able to get behind the stucco, and if it was caught early, all this could have been prevented. And the bottom edge is rough all along here. There looks like there's a little buckling going on. We could have, yeah, it's coming off the wall a little bit. This is not looking like an $11,000 project, I'm afraid. I'm seeing as almost the entire exterior needs to be redone and properly. Well, we got some foundation insulation showing. That's good to see. But I'm back to where I started. Here on the deck. And I don't think I need to show more. I think I could find more if I looked. Yep, there is. And there's another hole in the wall up there, and it looks like some nesting issues. So yeah, there's quite a bit of work to do here. It's not just like, one small area at the bottom of the wall. It's the whole building, in my humble opinion. So we can talk about this, but I think you know, it's going to take some real solid quotes and somebody warranting the work to help fix this. I feel sorry for the seller. They probably didn't realize